Hello, fans and followers. Yes, I have returned again. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be coming back to Civilization 6. This will be Civilized or Not. Civilization 6 Gathering Storm. Hungary Series, Chapters 6 and 7, The Eye of the Storm, Parts 1 and 2. Say that title 3 times fast.
Hungarian Empire joins the world stage with Matthias Corvinus. From humble beginnings, you have shown remarkable growth. Leave your bronze for iron and rule of horse and sword. The sky above begins to reveal its secrets, a collection of heaven that uplifts our hearts and guides us to foreign shores. Mighty Matthias, your feats at arms are matched only by the depth of your knowledge. Let your mighty black army serve as your strong hand on the battlefield, both as sword against your enemies and as shield protecting your faithful people. And ages to come will utter your name in awe. That's the basics for Matthias Corvinus, the king of Hungarian Empire. He's got features like the Raven King, where levied units gain an ability in giving them +2 movement and 5 combat strength. It costs 75% less gold and resources to upgrade the levied units. If you levy troops from a city-state, you receive 2 envoys with that city-state. Also gain the Black Army, a unique unit when the castle's technology is researched. Pearl of the Danube, 50% production bonus to districts and buildings constructed across the river from the city center. With the Black Army and the Hussar, also gain the Thermal Bath, a unique building. I'm not sure what that includes. We'll see in the game. Thanks for joining me.
So, as we continue this game, we're going to pick off where we left off. The war has calmed or quieted between China and myself. I believe I've already met Greek. I have at the end of the last video. So I'm going to continue exploring, but before I get any deeper in this, I do want to thank you for joining me today. This video is a little bit longer. It's 2 chapters in one, and I call it Eye of the Storm because it is pretty much a calm or sort of video. And both chapters were pretty much the same slowness and calmness. So I put them both together so it makes it a little bit longer. But I do appreciate you joining me either way. I know you've probably seen the length of the video already. So basically, it's just a calm build up, and I continue to expand my civilization. You'll see me plant the 2 cities I'd planned. I planned a 3rd city, but I don't actually get it started. So you'll get to be able to see that today. Here as we get started though, after moving around already, it's talking in the opening. We're now talking with Greek, trying to see if I could negotiate open borders with him. So he wants more gold than I want to give. I end up turning this around and getting gold from him because I offer a second luxury. But here you see me going back and forth, trying to see how much he's wanting, how deep he's looking to go. I'm trying to see if I can, instead of giving him per turn, I'm trying to see how much I can get away with giving him all at once. So you see me negotiating there, inching it up little by little. So he's accepting at 26 with 2 per turn, and my elephants, I cancel all that. I add silk. Now I'm asking him for gold. I'm going to see if I can get how much I can get from him. All because I want his open borders. I want to get my troops through his land so I can see what's on the other side without going around the water. And pretty much I had no way to go after that because he's got a shoreline city that's got me blocked. So I believe he accepted that. Yep. So now my horse can enter his lands, no repercussions, but it's pretty funny later on he wonders why I'm next to his borders. Well, you let me in, but remember that, because you'll see it. As we continue on, the turn ends, looking to see what else I could do, waiting for the turn to start for the next turn. Answering the lack of housing. One of my cities is getting short on housing, but you know, that's part of the game. I usually just ignore those until I can actually deal with it. So with Miskolc, I upgraded. I'm adding the market, and it take another 11 turns. It's on my way to getting that Zimbabwe wonder there, as I mentioned before. Meanwhile, in Buddha, I'm looking to probably remove the iron resource there, but I want to get something good built first, so the production bonus completes it. I believe I go with, oh no, I've actually put the guy up here on the mine. I built the mine instead to help with some production yield. Let's see if I get still wondering why the last video I deleted the aqueduct from queue, but I've yet to start that back up. Now we're in Zedged, looking to increase my faith yield, I suppose. No, I took that back out. Just wondering what yield has, what he's doing. Trying to get some settlers built. Zedged will have a harbor soon. I'll be able to get sea units in this video. You'll see me launch my first naval units. Getting rid of some of those pins off the map. I don't need them anymore. At least a few that I had. I keep some because I still got to remind myself later. I'm looking to put the aqueduct here for Zedged. Moving on back to Miskolc, seeing what my army looks like. No more barbarians up there. I cleared them out a while ago. I think eventually I'll get that army back to the city and get them healing. The harbor's done. I'm now going to build me a galley and then a quadrireme. The difference between those two ships is the galley, I believe, is melee, and the quadrireme is range. And those two will both respectively go down the lines of destroyer and battleship eventually. Destroyer will be the final melee naval, while the battleship will be will eventually upgrade to the missile cruiser as well, and that'll be the final range naval. They become powerful naval units in the future. There's a third classification called the Naval Raider. That ends up going down the lines of submarines. But it first starts off, you get this as the privateer, basically a pirate ship. The whole purpose of that line is you gain gold. It's also range, but you gain gold for victories in Navy, and you also can pillage coastlines and actually range at cities. So I'm hoping to put a city there. It ends up not happening. It's going to be one tile up. Greek is going to do the same thing China did, and Greek is going to plant the city close to where I want. It's not the same spot like China did in the previous videos, but Greek does get a little too close to what I wanted. Right now, Greek and I are friends. That doesn't last, unfortunately. Nothing will happen seriously this video for these two chapters. It comes a couple chapters later. Definitely want to stick around after this chapter. The next video I will be expanding across the ocean and seeing the other continent. I finally get to find more civilizations to talk to. But first we'll get done with this video. So I'm moving my army around. I don't plan on war with China yet. I think China denounced me, so I'm not sure what he's planning. So I want to make sure my troops are in position if he decides to attack me. So I found a new city-state. I'm at Mitla. And that right there is because I got my first naval unit has been trained. So I now get to take to the coastline parts of the water. I can't go into the ocean yet. Difference when you look at the water tiles is the shallow light blue versus the really dark blue. Really dark blue is the ocean, and you can't enter ocean until you get later tech. Before that, you can ride alongside the shorelines. So we get that horseman healed. He looks like he's pretty hurt from the previous war. Finally got him back home from dealing with the barbarians. Rapa Nui and Nazca are both fighting each other. A little bit of a preview. I will be taking both of those cities in the future, so I will unify those two cities under my flag. I do that by force, but I want those two cities because of the placement on those two lakes. I actually can build a canal system into that, and just like I did with Deverson, or will do with Deverson. So this naval unit's coming down the coastline. Basically, my first two naval units will go left, one of each the class that I mentioned, melee and the range, and then the next two naval units will go right, and so they'll both basically go opposite directions around the island until I explore the entire coastline to open up more vision from the coastline, as well as figure out where any crevices and stuff, the shadows I can't get to by land until I can't go anymore anyway. So just looking around. He wants my, yeah, I didn't even consider it. He wanted my coal. Sorry, I don't like you that much, bud. I don't usually negotiate strategic resources because I need those to build my own army, of course. But if I give them to him, then it's going to allow him to build an army. And I want to make sure he's going to be an ally, a really good friend before I negotiate any strategic resource. I do get two allies eventually in this game, but it's not this chapter. They will come from across the ocean. One of those allies eventually lets me down, but the other ally stays with me, it seems like, to the end. Again, I'm 15, 20 chapters ahead now. I've played the game far enough ahead. I'm almost conquered the entire map and defeat the game, but not quite there yet. So I know a little bit of how it's going to go in the future. Looks like he's got a fourth city there. It looks like China's got 4 cities another city I did not know about. That's why I want to get that explored. I need to figure out what's in those shadows. But there is a city southwest of Zion. There it is, Chengdu. Chengdu. I found you, Chengdu. Continuing to explore out there. Also trying to explore around Greek, see what all he's got. Somebody completed the Mahabodhi temple, which I never really had my attention. I'm sure it's got some good bonuses, but I didn't really focus on it. So that doesn't disappoint me much. But I'm going to go see what temples are available. I mean, wonders are available, and I just planted the Colosseum. I want to get that Colosseum. Every time I see a wonder built, it startles me and scares me whether or not wonder I want. So then I'm like, oh, I gotta get some wonders. So that's why I rushed that Colosseum to get it in there. So I can't go around. I'm gonna end up jumping in that lake, trying to go around Chengdu in the water, continue exploring in the desert. Becomes a fatal move for that scout, but that's alright. Volcano exploded. That is the one between Zedged and Zion. It's not really hurting me at the moment. Eventually I'll have a campus district there. Gain some good science from that volcano, but it does hurt my campus district periodically. Looking at the policies, looking to see if I want to expand some policies. I think I do. Let's see what it was. I think I do Confederate merchants, merchant Confederate, that one right there, and I replace professional army at the bottom. So I lose my discount on unit upgrades, but I gain gold per Caesarian envoy. Not Caesarian, but per envoy. I've got a lot of envoys out there with city-states, so I just increased my gold input. I'm now at 81 gold per turn. A couple turns away, I'll have over 1,000 gold, which will be quite an accomplishment. Gold is hard to come by in this game. Sometimes. Depends on how you play it. So I'm looking at different civics I could research. I believe I go with divine right, which gets me monarchy. I will change my government once I open monarchy. We'll talk about that when it happens. Oh, I got a governor upgrade, so I believe I recruit Victor the Castellan. I do believe, yes. I put it in Deverson in case I need more defense bonuses from him with China, but I eventually move him over to my other new city that will come along, the western shores over there south of Deverson. There will be another city soon. So looking at this people of Buddha, trying to see if I can move them around, see what I can do. Working on that Colosseum, so I'm probably trying to figure out how I can get the best production. I do looking down below, it shows I've got 14 turns to a loss, so I'm starving my people at the moment in Buddha. I know I mentioned that before, and you guys are all probably thinking, oh, how cruel. I know. It's just the game. Every great ruler has to make those decisions once in a while. Just kidding. So there's another wonder built, and I missed the name of that, but I don't know what it was. It's not the Colosseum, I will tell you that. Little spoiler, I do know I get the Colosseum eventually. It takes a while. Actually, it doesn't take as long. I get a few production boosts from the terrain. I destroy a couple things. Iron under that. I'm doing that right now. I'm going to remove the iron mine, which gives me nothing, but next turn I'm going to be able to harvest the iron. I'm going to get a massive production bonus in Buddha from that iron. I'll no longer have its strategic yield. But I've got plenty. I've got only mild iron up top. 50 iron it looks like. But I don't hang around the area long enough to require much iron. So I'm looking at Miskolc, trying to figure out what they could do with districts. I think I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do following the build of the Zimbabwe. Anytime, I've mentioned this before, but anytime you build a wonder, like the Zimbabwe or the Colosseum or whatever, you get a yield bonus on the theater district from culture if it's next to the wonder. So strategically, you want to plan. If you plant your theater in a specific tile because you know you're going to have a wonder there, you want to. I just put the industrial, which is going to take advantage of the aqueduct and the dam for that Miskolc city, and that's what I did. But as I was talking about wonders, and this wonder is a perfect example. I've got the Stonehenge on one side, I've got the Colosseum being built on the other side. So when I get that theater in Buddha, it's going to have two district bonuses, two bonuses from the wonder. It's going to have 8 plus, 12 plus probably a bonus of culture by the end. So you want to plan, as I was saying, you want to plan where you're going to put your district. If you know you're going to put a theater district specifically, you want to see what other tile offers you can get for wonders, and that's what I was trying to figure out in Miskolc. So now I'm going to put the Great Zimbabwe. So I'm planning. See, he's complaining about my troops. He just allowed me like 3 turns back. Yeah, I can cross his borders. All I have is 2 ships, which one wasn't even close to his border anymore. I had 2 ships and a horseman running around just scouting his land. The setbacks of this game sometimes. Sometimes there's some things about this game that can be kind of lame, but to me, I laugh at it. Oh, he just got in trouble. My scout just ran into an ambush. Even though Greek is there and he's not going to do anything to help my scout out, he's going to turn and run. Turn and burn. My scout just walked up in the middle of 2 barbarians, and it's going to be the death of him here in a couple turns. Meanwhile, I've got this horseman over here. He's going to find more barbarians. So he runs. I think he's safe, but I'm not sure where to go. And the next turn, he gets killed. He's hurting too, so. Oh well, there goes that scout. Long live that scout. Not this time. Hey scout, like Tuvok said, live long and prosper. Yeah, I had to. So get a builder, and eventually I think I want settler there, because I know I want some settlers, but Buddha is busy with the wonders, so I'm not going to focus on too many settlers for Buddha. Although Buddha gets better settlers because Buddha's governor has a bonus that I don't lose any population when I train a settler, whereas you do in any other city. It's like you're sending one population away from your city to plant another city. That's what you're doing with a settler. But Buddha doesn't do that. There goes my archer. Or my scout. Lost my scout. Scout, rest in peace. I didn't even give him a name. Anyway. So I noticed there's a flood there. I'm looking at the climate change here. So in this game, as you know by the title, Gathering Storm, this game offers different storm effects. If you've noticed at the northern and southern end of the map, there's icebergs throughout the whole tips of the edge of the map. Those icebergs will eventually melt according to CO2 levels based on production and oil usage and stuff like that in the later game. So as the more factories you build, more CO2 you put in the environment combined with the CO2 of other civs, the faster your icebergs melt, the more weather problems you get in the end. Before that, weather is seldom and minor, as you've noticed. There have been floods from rivers and tornadoes here and there, and maybe a blizzard here and there, volcanoes here, and all that's environmental weather changes. All that will increase as the game goes on, depending on the polarized caps. Which it can be a bother, but if you kind of expect it, you do your best to adapt. And I've got a few plans that I had would have been great plans if they spanned out, and a lot of them, my plans, end up fail because of the weather. So I've got this horse. Like I said, he's going to find some barbarians down here. He first finds this archer, takes a shot at my horse. My horse is like, really? My horse is really going to put a pound into him. Here he goes. So I take out at least half his archers. So he's going to run to the hills next turn. My horse is maybe 30% injured. He lasted pretty much for a while, at least through that fight. So now I get to pick a new dedication for the next era. I believe I go with reform the coinage. No, I'm not sure. But the 3 of them, a Hickson Dracone's dedication, I gained 3. That's what I did, and I couldn't even read it. I gained 3 for something. I can't even pretend I know what it is because I'm already recording. I can't go back, and it will screw up my recording time. Anyway, we'll figure out what that is later. I was looking at the city-states there, seeing what kind of missions they wanted. I think Mitla wants a trade route, so I'm going to eventually get a trade route to Mitla, but it doesn't help me enough. So if I get that banking, I'll have the Great Zimbabwe availability. And then I added something else on top of the Great Zimbabwe, which required something else. I let it move too fast. But nonetheless, banking will be done, as I can see in the top left. Banking will be done in 7 turns. And then I'll get that Great Zimbabwe started, I hope. If it only requires the market, then Miskolc is already ready for the Great Zimbabwe. If it requires the bank prior to being the Great Zimbabwe built, then I have to build the bank first in the commercial district for Miskolc. Meanwhile, we've got a new city planned, settlers on its way. I noticed I had 2 turns left until the Colosseum. I don't know why these two keep going back and forth. I think I'm waiting for when I finish the... I don't even know. He wants to trade my relics. No, that's pointless. I mean, I'll gain a relic, but I don't want to lose a relic. It's stupid. Plus, he wanted my gold. I said no. He planted a city. Like I said, he planted a city close to where I wanted. That's what it was. But I didn't spend a lot of time looking at there. I'll go back and look at it in a minute. But I get upset with Greek because of that. Greek and I are going to have a problem in the future. Zedge, his trade route. Where does that go? I think I moved that to Debrecen. Yes, I did. Next turn, I'll have a trade route from Debrecen to Buda. That will start to establish a road. As we remember when I took China, the city from China that used to be Debrecen that I crumbled. I had a hard time getting my troops down there because there was no road. So eventually I'll have a road down there. So there it is, the Colosseum. I can't talk fast enough. Colosseum is finished. So now I've got a huge amenity bonus from the Colosseum that will help my cities in the future. There's the trade route from Debrecen to Buda. Eventually get a road there in those mountains. It will help. Sooner or later I'll have tunnels in those mountains too, which help me get through and around them. Meanwhile, I've got this barbarian camp over here. The horseman finally found. I'm going to heal the horseman. I know he's not going to attack me with a spearman. His spearman would have an advantage, but it would leave the camp undefended, and he doesn't want to do that. So we've got 2 settlers coming from Buda, another settler coming from Zedge. I think I eventually lose 1 settler from Buda because I planned something differently. I take 1 out. But I had 3 different cities that I have planned. So now I change Buda back to food. I don't want to starve my people too long. They accomplished what I was looking for. I'll give them a reward, let them eat. I'm graceful. Yeah, anyway. There it is, my Sinai. That bad. I can't even say it. I don't even know how friendly I should be keeping these videos, but I can't say what I think of him. But yeah, I'm not happy with Greece because he put a city there. Of course, it's nowhere near my city, so I can't actually go and condemn him. But he's going to hate me when I plant my city next to his, and there will be some trouble. So as I mentioned earlier, he was concerned about my troops, even though he allowed me through his borders. So then he gets upset with me when I plant my city there, and then he gets upset with me when I convert my religion there and then expand my religion to his cities. So relations crumble between me and Greek. Meanwhile, Buddha's, I'm looking back at this aqueduct. Finally, I get the aqueduct started. Do I? Yes, I do. After a settler, after something else, a market, I think. So next turn, I'll have the mosque built here in Zedge. There it is. Finish the mosque. Got envoys. I only got 1 envoy I can send. I think I accomplished a quest for somebody, for one of these guys. So I get 1 envoy to send somewhere, and I'm trying to figure out who I want to send to where. Oh no, I just got the envoy because of points. That's what it was, influence points. As I see, I only gain 1 envoy at a time. Later on, I'll gain more, and that's what I was remembering. But so he's complaining now also that I am taking a city. I am trying to befriend a city-state, and he doesn't want me befriending a city-state. So he's mad about me planting his future city. He will be mad. I'm mad that he planted his city there. He'll be mad with my religion. He's mad that I'm trying to take a city-state. China's trying to offer me something stupid. I didn't even consider it. And the World Congress. We are back to the World Congress. So everybody decides to vote against a particular luxury I think it's amber. Oh, so I refuse to let King Shi gain culture from his culture district, but I try to go and boost Jade, so Jade will gain extra luxury bonus, but everybody else votes against luxury policy and voted B, and somebody had suggested Amber, and so now Amber has no bonus whatsoever on the map, which makes me mad because there's a lot of Amber in my area. I have to fight to get Amber back, and I basically don't. But it doesn't hurt me enough because I've got enough amenities from other sources. So there's monarchy. I'm looking at monarchy. I'm going to have 3 military policy cards, one of the other 3 as well. I'm trying to decide if I really do want monarchy compared to the others, but I eventually go with monarchy. So as you can see, I now opened up 2 combat cards. So now I go back through and I pick, I think chivalry's 1, so I'm going to get a production boost to industrial and earlier heavy and light cavalry, I believe. No, actually I didn't. So amenity for having units in my cities. Basically, I make my population feel secure with my people in cities, my troops. But they've got to be on the city tile, which Miss Coke doesn't, but I will eventually. Got to fortify them on the city tile for at least that city to get amenity bonus, but it helps with my amenities. So I plant encampment district in that tile I just planted. That will help me defend Debrecen against China's counter assault in the future if he ever decides to try to take that city back. Here shortly will be the end of chapter 6, the beginning of chapter 7. So don't think the video is over, but you'll see a screen transition. I just simply use it to break the difference between the 2 chapters. It'll be about a 5-second transition. Anyways, we continue on with the chapter 6. Trying to see more cities I can plant up here. This is where I get my 3rd city idea. I think I moved the city pen that's there right now. I moved that over or down one, I think. I can't remember. But there will be another city up north along the shoreline next to the mountain. There's a lot of potential up there. So once I figure that out, yep, I deleted that. I moved it 1 down from the hill to the forest in between the hill and the cattle, as you can see. And I'm going to put another one up north. After I look around this one, I'm probably trying to further plan that city, see what all I can actually do with the city. I know that mountain range north will be a good bonus for science. But further on I go to plant the city up here. I'm going to have 2 fish, 2 sheep, a deer, an elephant on the other side of the mountain, Amber south of me, which I just mentioned is not going to do me anything until I get Amber back on the map with the World Body Congress. But it's still going to be a good city along that North Shore line. I will say that that city does get planted soon. Meanwhile, we've got this horseman down here. Got a knight with Greek that just showed up. My horseman's going to continue chasing that scout. Hopefully I catch it before he does. I just discovered the Ikfla. I don't even know how to say that, but if you know how to say that, let me know below. Ifla Skull. It's called Skull Mountain. That is now officially called Skull Mountain by me. It is a constant volcano, but it's only seldom. It will never go dormant. And it's a 2-tile wonder that gives me culture and science on all tiles around it. I think food too, I don't even know. I think it is food, but that's because the land is enriched by the volcanic soil. I'll go back and look at it later. Meanwhile, looking around, Buddha's going to have a settler in 1 turn, as I can see on the map, even though I'm looking elsewhere. Many dispute the actual start of the Renaissance, so I discovered banking, which started the Renaissance era for me, and I got the points. Settler gonna go north. This spearman's gonna come down, meet the settler, give him an escort, make sure he's protected. I don't know where barbarians are. War starts anytime soon, which it doesn't, but I didn't know that at the time. Always be prepared. Good, I got that scout, gained some experience. Looking back at Zedged. Zedged gets another settler. Couldn't figure out what to do that spearman. I don't know why I left him there, but if I would have moved that spearman sooner, he would have been ahead. But they bottleneck at the mountains, unfortunately, sooner or later. Continue scouting that cold area. I put another good city there too, but not until after I discover oil is down there. A future resource strategically will be discovered. So I'm going to move more military here. Bring Archer up to Buda. Miskolc flooded. That doesn't make me happy because I've now got to fix all that. Got to heal my troops that get damaged if they did. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So as you can see, I'm going to skip the middle city that I have planned because I want the north city first. I want to get that north city started so I can continue my naval build up on the other side of the mountain, hill, island, continent. I don't even know. So I did delete that city there. I'm going to go one tile north of it, so I'm going to be next to the mountain, one tile from the shoreline. I have a good spot there. It's not what I wanted initially, but take what you get. And now the problem here is if I wait and just bring an army and destroy my Sinai, I'm going to have a hard time building an army up over there without having a city planted there to defend because of those mountain range. I don't have a road there. The best way to get a road there is through trade route, and I don't want to send a trade route to his city, especially if I'm going to attack it eventually. So I have to put a city there, which ruins my plans for any future city I wanted there, but that's okay. Horseman comes up, exploring some more. So somebody finished a wonder and I didn't catch that wonder. I still didn't catch the wonder. I was looking at it too. Man, I moved too fast. Somebody finished a wonder, but it wasn't important to me. I think the Great Lighthouse, actually. I eventually find out that that will be Indonesia. So now I got a barbarian crossbow here that is slaughtering my archer. My archer cannot compete with crossbow. So I've got another problem with barbarians. Trying to get my city through there. The problem is I've got a settler coming with an escort. So that's going to be a problem. So I've got a crippled archer. I've got a settler coming with a swordsman. I got to unlink him so I can get the settler back to where the pikeman is. I do not fire on him. I retreat. I have to retreat because if I fired on him, he would have killed me. I would have done little damage. He would have still killed me. That crossbow is too strong for an archer. And I can't upgrade the crossbow, my archer to a crossbow until I get a city down there. He has to be in friendly territory. He's too far away to get back to Zedged, which is the next closest city, so he has to retreat. Meanwhile, waiting for the turn to end, my other settler is continuing up north. Buddha's got another settler planned. Zedged just completed a builder, so I'm going to put one camp where that elephant is, and that settler will continue, or that builder will continue to follow the settler and help the next city where the settler is going. I have 2 more builds available after that ivory camp. But first I got to plan the ivory camp. So the archer just stays where he's at. Obviously the Crossbow's no longer paying attention to him. He's going to heal. The swordsman will take care of the crossbow eventually. It's going to take a couple turns. As you noticed, I did some good damage to the crossbow. Next turn I should kill him. Buddha now still has that settler in 6 turns. I put the aqueduct district. Instead I swapped the builder, because I want to build her sooner. I swapped the builder with the settler, which puts the settler behind the aqueduct. But that's okay. Archer I just upgraded to crossbow in 1 city. Archer I just upgraded to crossbow in the 2nd city. So I got a couple crossbows now. I don't spend all my gold at once. But as you can see, I've got a good supply of gold coming in, so I can spend gold periodically to upgrade my units. Crossbow took a shot at my swordsman, which hits the swordsman, not the settler, because the swordsman's there first. I can't do anything with the spearman or the pikeman behind, but I leave him there just as a backup in case I lose the swordsman, which I don't. But if I lost the swordsman, the pikeman would have moved in and finished off the job. Try to see if I can make another deal with him. Why? I'm not sure what I'm going to offer, but I'm making the deal. I couldn't find anything I'd do. I wanted to be friends. He denied me. You can tell my relations with Greek is faltering. I think my friendship had been determined. So I took a shot. My swordsman's hurt. I take a risk here, but I believe I'm able to finish off the expo. Yeah. That was a risk, but I succeeded. And that's what I meant. Just in case I failed, I would have had the pikeman there to protect the settler. As you can see, my swordsman's hurt. Now I put another boat into the ocean. Here's the mid transition. Chapter 6 is now finished. We are moving on to Chapter 7, Part 2 of the Eye of the Storm. So as I continue, I mentioned got a builder coming out of Buddha. I'm going to have a settler after that for Buddha. Trying to just look around. I think I was just refreshing my memory. There was a pause in the actual gameplay. Usually I play 1 chapter at a time. I go to bed. I often play this game at night before I go to bed, because I play up to 2 hours. It's a long time to play during the daytime. So yeah, each chapter is up to 2 hours long, but when I actually do my recording, I speed it up. As you can tell, everything moves so fast. It's because I speed it up to 3 times. Usually I slow it down for certain action points, like when I was at war with China. I slow it down so I can talk about my strategy during each combat, and then I speed it back up in between. Because this has no actual war, I just left it at 3x speed the entire video for both of them. So they were like 35-40 minutes each, but I put them together to make an hour and 20 minutes. That's why it's a little bit longer. So as the chapter continues, Debrecen's now established. I've completed a production, and I've got 4 production. Here we go, right there. That was that production bonus, because he's next to Aqueduct as well as the commercial district. That industrial for Miskolc has a good start. That's what that reward was. So you can tell this space is going to be tight, and I am obviously going to be too close, and he's not going to be happy. You'll see once I plant the city, and I'll get a message from him. After that, he's going to tell me his dislike, and I'm going to be like, shove it up, yo. Never mind. Anyways, Estergom, if I said that right. Estergom is planted on the north shore, just like I told you it was going to be, next to the mountains. That amber's not going to do me any good. It will provide me gold, but it won't provide me amenity. Provide me a gold and a mine from the production of the mine. And so looking on, looking around, waiting for the turn to end. China says, "Give me your horse." I said, "Nope." "Are you crazy? So you can attack me with the horsemen that I gave you for horse for?" "No. I don't like you that much. In fact, I hate you." Not gonna happen. What am I negotiating gold for? I'm trying to get gold from him because he wants my ivory. I consider an ivory because I got 4 ivory. I'm only using 1 of those spare. I think I mentioned in previous video and I was wrong. I found out later on playing the game, multiple chapters ahead, I discovered my mistake. But I did mention that any stack of your luxury resources gives you additional amenities for more cities added to the stack. No, that's wrong. So each one luxury only provides your entire civilization 4 amenities. The game will automatically decide where those 4 amenities go, whatever the next 4 cities that need them the most, whatever's been waiting the longest. So the game does that automatically, but once that first luxury is expended across 4 cities for amenities, any future luxury stacked is no longer providing any luxury or amenities for your civ. The only good purpose for is to try to negotiate for other amenities. So if I trade my ivory for, I don't know, somebody's whatever diamond or whatever, or jade, then I'll get 4 amenities from that trade that I got from the trade route, because they'll give me their luxury, and I'll give them one of my luxury. That's kind of how that works. Which kind of sucks. I hate the fact that it doesn't stack, but I didn't make the game, so. So we got Kolozsvár planted, and you'll see that Greek is not going to be happy, but I'm going to be like, oh well, shove it up your, yeah. Get that swordsman healed. I first give him a bonus with his experience. I move the archer over to make room for the horseman. So Kolozsvár is pretty well defended, although 2 of them are hurt. But that's okay, I'll get them healed. No war starts anytime soon, but Greek is not happy. So precursor for the next 2 chapters, I believe, 2 chapters away. I will start a war with Greek, and I will destroy Mycenae. I'll give you a little incentive if you want to continue following the series. A bit of spoiler. But my open borders with Greek is no longer there, so I cannot get my ships out of where they're stuck. I think they're stuck there. What do I? I think I do go back and negotiate open borders a second time. I can't remember. Hope my music's not too loud. See, he's upset. He's telling me he did not like me planting my city. So I could have responded and I simply apologized. I was trying to be diplomatic. I tried to see if I could prolong friendship there. But he doesn't like me. So now I've got this new apostle. I'm going to give him chaplain? No. Oh, I gave him something else. I didn't see what it was. I need to pay attention faster. Got this builder from Buda. Where does he go? I think he's going to build one thing and then move south to help Miskel. Nope, he's going somewhere else. Again, all this is after the fact of playing. I am watching the video that I've already previously produced. I'm trying to remember everything that I've already seen. And I do watch these videos a couple times before I actually do my voiceover. But it's hard to remember everything. So now I've got the dam in Miskel, which is a huge production bonus. If you remember that industrial district earlier started off with 4, it now just gained plus 2 more. That industrial is going to be plus 6 just from that district production. So that Miskel becomes a powerhouse for, not a powerhouse exactly, it does become a very strong production city. So I got these 2 quadriremes. They're in the Kolozsvár shoreline. I'm going to say that name wrong every time. Kolozsvár. I don't know. 2 of those letters is obviously going to be silent. You can't say all those letters together. So the horsemen's on the other side of Namanal. Another precursor, a bit of a spoiler. Eventually I go back to war with China. He does something really stupid a few chapters away, and I basically will annihilate China. I was going to prolong China and let him stay for a while. But no, China will get annihilated. So I'm going to own the top half of this island and all the eastern side of this island, and then I'm going to go south of Greek, and I'm going to have Greek surrounded pretty much. My end game, I will be at war with Greek as well. Again, be two separate wars. It's a fun series. It was a fun series to play, but I do have this small bit of a boring part with these two chapters, Eye of the Storm, but at least you get to see me develop two cities. I'll have a third city planned. You already saw me plant the idea for it. I don't have the city yet. Here I'm trying to figure out why my loyalty is so bad. It's because I planted so close to him. It takes me a little bit. I have to work pretty hard. But I get this is when I moved Victor from Debrecen to Kolosvar, and that helps slow down or reduce my loyalty loss. I no longer have a revolt going on in that new city. Trying to dance me, which is nothing new. That's why I keep thinking he's going to attack me. He never does, but he does something stupid separately from attacking me. He attacks me politically, let's put it that way. So much open land there. Greek is so pissed off that I planted a city next to me. He could have gone all this open land south. He could have had all this to himself. And I would have, if I would have been playing Greek in the same scenario, I would have had all that land going to the city-states and beyond the city-states. I would have probably even captured the city-states. Actually, Greek has a huge bonus to befriending city-states. So, that's why he was mad earlier when I was trying to take a city-state. He's got a lot of city-state friends, at least at the moment. So, meanwhile, here in Kolosvar, trying to plan what I'm going to do with the city now. I know I'm going to put the Holy Site District out there in the forest where I've got the pin marked, next to the mountain, which is also next to a natural wonder. That lake-looking tile in the forest is a natural wonder. It's something with food and happiness. I forget what it adds, but it's lake something. Anyway, so I put a production site there because I'm between two mines, which I end up destroying a mine. I don't know why I put the production there. It's because I'm going to put an aqueduct there. I could have found a better place to put the production for the aqueduct, but unfortunately there's no shallow enough land to put a dam. Otherwise I would have had more of a powerhouse. As I mentioned before, I always try to pair my industrial district with one of or two of at least three districts: aqueduct, dam, or canal. If I can put two of those together and put the industrial next to it, it's a powerhouse. You'll see that later in other cities I've already established. I've got that in Miskolc. You saw the dam and the aqueduct with the industrial in Miskolc. It's going to be a good production, but not even close to a powerhouse. Meanwhile, my horseman gets back on the land there in the snow. Muscat is a friend of mine. I'm not sure how that happened. Oh, that's when he got upset with me when I took a city-state, and he was saying, "Hey, that city belongs to me." No, I took it from him. He's mad about that. So that city-state will be an ally in a future war. That will help me big time. Miskolc's not happy. My city is struggling because I'm short on housing, but that's okay. He's got a missionary next to my city. I've got an apostle coming, but it's not fast enough. It doesn't get there soon enough. So now I get more. I'm going to have a holy fight soon, so I'm going to get me another missionary to help protect my mission. Get me a guru to help heal my apostle. And I am low on faith. I only have 9 faith right now. I'll point that out now. There'll be multiple chapters ahead, but that's going to be up to 40,000 faith at one point. Yeah, I'll point that out now. See, anyway, Debrecen, I want that Hui Sui. I forget if that's how it's pronounced. Hui Takui. Hui Tui. I don't know. It's a wonder that goes in the lake, and it's going to bonus every other lake I have across my entire... Somebody just built the Chichen Itza, which, okay, that sucks. I wanted that. Oh well. I'm gonna get that Hui Tui in Debrecen. So I'm gonna bonus lakes all across my civilization, which I don't even have any lakes, but it's gonna encourage me to, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take two city-states later on south of China, Rap Nui and Nazca. When I take those two city-states, they're gonna be next to two lakes, which will get lake bonuses, improved yields out of the lakes because Tui Sui, if I even said that right, Tui Tukui. I don't know. I'm gonna stop trying now. I'm trying to make myself laugh. Hopefully you're all laughing with me. So anyways, I got the builder here. He's going to clear this forest because I'm going to make it easier to see if he comes through with his people. I eventually plant another forest there later because I want the holy site there. Pretty much I don't get any adjacency bonus besides what I can get from forest. So initially when I planted or had the idea for the industrial district, I had two mines planned between the jade and where the coal is, but then I end up, what is that coal? I think that's niter. Niter or coal. No, that's coal. So I eventually will have coal mine and a jade mine next to the district with the science, which unfortunately the industrial won't have a second district until I plant the aqueduct, which requires me to clear the coal mine, which no longer gives me the double mine adjacency bonus for the industrial district. If you see where I'm going, I overcalculated my planning for this city. I don't get all the things I wanted here, but I know I do put the aqueduct there, and so eventually the other mine that I have planned next to industrial will become another forest, and I have two forests there next to what I plan to have for the holy site. The holy site will only have pretty much the only bonus the holy site will get is from the natural wonder and the forest. But I need two forests to bonus it. That city will be a struggle. Somebody just finished Angkor Wat, which I'm okay about the Angkor Wat sometimes. I don't go for it this one. Obviously I can't now, but I never planned on it. So now my apostle, excuse me there, if you heard that, my apostle is entering his land. I'm going to try to convert his city, but mainly I'm actually looking to attack his faith units. I try to start a holy fight, but it takes a while to find him, so I chase him down by the end of this video. But so at least you guys get to see a bit of a glimpse of a holy fight. On this game, borders do dictate whether or not you can cross the borders. Relations do. But relations and border policies do not prevent faith units unless I think there is one policy card you could put in your government that prevents faith units from crossing if there's no open borders. But it's only a one-time thing. I know you could do that with the rock bands, which is another unit later on beyond the industrial district. You get a unit to a rock band to increase culture and tourism. As I mentioned at the beginning of this series, Civilization 6 has so many avenues, so many things that I cannot explain in one paragraph, as I describe in my channel or my series here for the game. It's just culture and tourism and faith and military tactics and diplomacy and just everything combined. This game is so, to me, it's so, I get so excited to play. Meanwhile, we've got these units. I'm coming back up North Shoreline on the east side. I'm going to eventually have them out in the ocean. I am 3 turns from cartography. Cartography will let my units enter ocean tiles, and you'll get to see me barely get a glimpse of the ocean. I'll also find a new island, which I plan another city for. I plan, but it's just in my head. You won't even see my plan yet until next chapter, I believe. So I'm looking at Buddha, the government plaza, trying to decide what I want to build. If I add one of these buildings, I'm not sure which one. Remember, with the government plaza, the 3 buildings you have an option to choose. You can only build one of. It cancels out or voids out the other 2 opportunities. And of course, you only can get one government plaza in your entire civilization. So these buildings are excruciatingly limited and extremely important. I couldn't exert that enough how important those buildings are. And so I still can't decide what I want. So I continue to wait and I build other stuff, including a settler. Meanwhile, I got this builder coming down. I'm going to fix the farm there with the rice paddy. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but the tiles there in Meskolk were destroyed because of the river. Well, it doesn't make sense to me, but this is how the game did it. But when you get plundered or whatever, even from a river, your buildings in districts and map tile buildings are on fire. I don't know how that makes sense when the buildings were flooded with the river, but that's what they did. It's the same thing as when you pillage a building or a feature on the tile that was built by a builder with your military units of your enemy. It's on fire. So it uses the same mechanic that is set up for that. Instead of creating a whole new mechanic, it uses the same thing. So basically the river plunders your or pillages your tile structures. So as I'm looking around, looking at these policies, I'm dancing in my chair, with my arms back and forth. This song is so killer. Yup. Y'all can see me now, but you can't, so you won't. Just kidding. Alright, so we're moving on and looking at the policies to see what future culture civics that I can choose from. We go with humanism. I can't remember why. I didn't look at it long enough. I got a missionary there. I'll try to spread my religion there. Few conversions. Takes me a little bit. It's gonna take me at least 2 conversions to get my religion there because his already so strong. Meanwhile, if I could find the missionary I was chasing, yeah, he's mad that my proselytizers are taking my city. It's my city. I want my religion there, punk. Anyway, so yeah, finally the rice paddy's fixed. Dam set, no more floods there. I'll get floods there, but they won't damage anything. You'll see a few future floods here and there, and it'll say that they were taken care of or they were mitigated. So back to Kolosvar, maybe. No, I go and see what great person I get. I get a great merchant. Awesome. I actually go with him. So I glance to see if this is what I really wanted. I want to see what he offers. I'm not sure if why I didn't take it, but obviously I wasn't too happy about. Take it anyway. So all he's going to do is give me a free bonus upgrade to a governor, so it helps progress one of my governors sooner. So I kind of get ahead compared to other civilizations. I wasn't too happy about it. I wanted to see, if it's commercial, it would have been like, give me gold or something. I don't know. But whatever. The other reason I took it is to prevent anybody else from getting it. The governors are not, or the great people are not duplicated. Each great person has its own bonus or benefit to him, and only one of him comes out. So I'm looking at the great person right now. Yeah, he bonuses a governor title, so I can recruit a new one or promote one that I currently have. And I think I'd go with financiers. I'll glance at all of them, I believe. I look at all the options. I should have gone with the educator because I kind of struggled in my science for a while. Until later on in the game, I should have gone with the educator. That would have been a perfect opportunity to do so, and I didn't. But I got surveyor, which I now put in Debrecen because Victor the Castellan has left. Remember, he's now there in Kosovar. Meanwhile, where is that missionary that I'm chasing? Oh, I know why he's mad. I just noticed the difference in color because I converted his city. That's why. Well, you convert my city, I'm going to convert your city, and then I'm going to go back and still convert my city. Here, looking at Zedged, trying to see. So I know there's a huge bonus up here for production. I see that, +4 up in the mountains. But why I put it here in the shoreline, I have to put it in the shoreline if I want that wonder. That wonder that's marked there in the shoreline as a reminder needs the industrial district next to it. And it has to be in the water. That's the wonder I mentioned in a couple chapters back where I'm going to have double naval units every time I build a naval unit. So for the production and cost of one naval unit, I'm actually going to get 2 copies. So you'll see my navy grow rapidly fast. There's nothing that can compare to how fast my navy grows. Yes, I'm getting candy out of a candy bag. I love this time of year, Halloween or close to. Candy corn. If you like candy corn, let me know down below. Candy corn's the best. Black Army. So I get a bonus with the Black Army for any levied units adjacent to him. It's a huge bonus, but it's hard to manage because you have to first get a levy unit. So if you guys remember, levied units were the units I purchased from my city-states. So when I went to war with China and after the war, you remember I had levied units that all converted back to their city-state, and I mentioned how I ran them off into the ocean to use the last turns I had with them to scout. Those are levied units. So in the future wars with my Black Army, which I never use this advantage because I don't go to war anytime soon. But with the Black Army, if I go and levy more units from a future city-state friend or ally of mine, and I use his units and bring them next to my Black Army, he gets +3 bonus for each of those units. Which sounds pretty good bonus, but it's hard to manage, as I explained. Meanwhile, I fixed the other rice patty, so I got rice patty and sugar patty. One of those is rice, one of those is sugar. I forget which one. Another farm. Instead of building up my military to go to war with Greek, I bring them down to take care of these barbarians. Meanwhile, I'm looking for that missionary because I'm going to hunt him down. I'm going to find him. Do I kill him? That is the question. I try. There's the Oxford. Argos with Greek is building the Oxford University. Oh well. That'd have been a good science boost, but which I'd need. So, from the new city Esgard, if I said that right, Ertsgom, I'm going to have a new trade route to Buda, which will give me a more road structure for my civilization. Infrastructure is very important. When you guys play this game, your first cities need new trade routes from the city back to the capital. The capital is going to always give you, for the majority of the time, going to give you the best production and or food bonus. And you just have to decide what's better. Sometimes you have another city that might provide better production, but your capital will almost always provide better food. So if you decide which one, the objective is to mainly get your trade routes between your cities so you get free roads. You get free roads off of trade routes. You can also build roads with a later unit called the military engineer. Military engineer will be able to build multiple things. I'm looking at him right now. That's pretty funny. I'll talk about it. The military engineer will be able to build roads. He'll be able to build railroads once that becomes an industrial feature. And he'll be able to build tunnels and mountains. He'll be able to build airstrips to give you air units in the future of the game. Place to land if they need. I don't build any of those. I build enough airports and they also can land at cities. So that's kind of what the military engineer can do. You can also give a big production bonus to the infrastructure districts like the aqueduct and the dam and the canal. So I'm going to take a shot with my archer and I'm going to take a shot with my swordsman. I'm going to try to cripple that. Oh, nope. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. You need to take a shot first. Nope. I did it instead. Oh well. So I lost my turn to shoot because I used the upgrade. It gave him a health bonus. I'm waiting to see if he ends up attacking with his knight to weaken. So now it's, as much as I'm gung-ho about killing barbarians when I'm by myself, when you're dealing with them with an ally or an enemy next to you, or just a neutral civilization that you try not to fight, if you get the final kill, you get the experience bonus, and if you get the final attack on the barbarian encampment, and you actually clear the encampment, you get the gold bonus. But you don't want to do it prematurely, because if you weaken that unit defending enough that the other unit next to you can actually do it themselves, then they get the bonus for you. So now you're playing a waiting game. And that's kind of what I'm doing with that guy. Meanwhile, these guys out in the ocean now found a new island. Woohoo! As I mentioned previously, I will put a new city on that island sooner or later. It takes a while. Greek is happy I moved my troops. I don't know how, because I still got a whole bunch of troops in the border, but whatever. So I mentioned previously, I thought I was already ready, but I'm not quite ready for Miskolc and the Wonder yet. All I have to do now is build the camp or the farm, cattle ranch, whatever it is, for the cattle tile. So as much as I want to put the aqueduct here in the new city, I can't yet because the mine is still, I have to clear it out of the way. So instead I start the harbor district, so I'll be able to build naval units from Kosovo too. So Zedged started the industrial district finally. And Buddha is looking to build. Right now he's building a builder. What do I add to it after that? I need to put the culture. That's what I do. Look at that bonus. Remember I mentioned the government plaza, which is where those unique buildings are, just south to the right of the new theater. The government plaza gives a bonus to all districts surrounding it. So the culture theater district has a bonus from that, plus the city tile itself, plus the two wonders next to it, plus the multiple actual districts next to it. So here I am. I got the win there. This knight will hopefully take care of the other barbarian. I don't know what that is. Trying to figure out why I can't move all my units, but it's because it's a bottleneck with forest and everything. Everybody wants to be on the same tile. So where did that missionary go? Where is he? Okay, I cannot sing, sorry. Still look for him. I know where he's at now, because I remember watching this already, but he's south to the right in the desert tiles in the shadow. So, as I mentioned earlier, there's actually 3 classifications to naval units. So these two, there's one melee and one range. And at the time I thought the range would be able to plunder tiles on the shoreline. I found out it doesn't, but you'll see me looking at the range unit and why you can't plunder the unit or the barbarian encampment or the goody hut. So here's the next city coming. The settler is being escorted by a crossbow. Now I'll get close to settling that city, but I don't think I make it. I do have about 5-6 minutes left. So with that said, I do want to thank everybody for watching this video. I know it's a little bit longer, close to an hour and 20 minutes than my typical videos on Civilization 6, which are only 45-50 minutes typically. So if you stuck to the game this long, I do appreciate it. It's basically just a transition build-up video. It's kind of important to the future of the Civ, but for those who end up missing it because it's long and boring, I apologize for that as well, but they're not going to know what's going on. So if you stuck around this long, I thank you, and you're going to be well informed on the future videos on what's going on. Meanwhile, where is that missionary? He's out here. There he is. Found him. Haha! Get him surrounded. I try to get him surrounded so he can't go anywhere, but I can't get him surrounded enough. Meanwhile, these two come up. I should have stopped. He's fine. I should have stopped him right there, and then he would have been able to fire, but I didn't. Zedged looking at just got -1 amenity, but that's okay. Get that fixed later on. I've still got a huge bonus of loyalty there. I'll never lose loyalty in Zedged. Usually your core cities never do unless you're literally attacked for loyalty intentionally by spies and faith units. You can lose loyalty enough, but it's a really hard slaughter or attempt to do so. Meanwhile, these guys are going to continue out and trying to figure out where the shoreline is, and they're going to go back and forth between the shoreline and the ocean and explore that. There's another island down there in the shadows that I don't see yet. So as it does come to an end, the next video will be called To the Seas or Into the Seas. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to title it. It's going to kind of be another slow video. There's not a whole lot of action. I do think drama builds up and you'll see drama increase in the next video. With me in Greek, I will cross the ocean and I'll see the other continent. I will meet a few more players on the game. I don't know if I meet all of them yet, but I will meet a couple more players. So that's kind of a little precursor of what's to come. I believe the video after the next, so I believe the next chapter will be chapter 8, because this is chapter 6 and 7 combined. Chapter 8 will be something like To the Seas or Into the Seas or Into the Storm, I don't know. That might make sense after this one. And then the chapter after that, I believe, starts the next war. I go with serfdom, or I wanted to go with serfdom. I don't think I do. I wanted serfdom because I would have gotten an extra 2. I remember it now. That's why I pointed that out. I canceled that out a while ago. I had builders getting extra 2 builds because of that, and now they don't. So now Miss Kolk has... Oh, well, never mind Miss Kolk. Unit needs orders, so we come to these guys. I'm trying to block off Greek from getting in there and interfering with my assault on the camp. So although I do kind of go in the ocean now, the next video you'll see me cross all the way over. So I get in a couple attacks on this missionary. I don't kill him this time. I don't know if I do the next video. He might eventually run and waste all his mission spreads. See, that's where I was trying to figure out why I couldn't gather or clear that goody hut, because I'm not the right unit. I need to be a naval raider which clears shoreline. But again, as we come to an end, thank you very much for checking out Civilized or Not with me. This again was Civilization 6, Gathering Storm. This was Hungary's Chapter 6 and 7. Eye of the Storm, Parts 1 and 2. Thanks again everybody for watching. This does come to the end of the video as it fades out. Stick around for future videos. Check out my channel, subscribe and like if you're interested.